I'd like to say welcome to another episode of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast. Well, I'm your host, Alan Sample. I hope all of y'all have been having a great week out there. Thank, thank you to all my followers, subscribers, listeners, anyone who's been tuning in. I'd like to say thank you. I take my hats off to you. Uh, this week, I'm gonna just tell you a little about, man, my city is very strong, very resilient. This Queen City in Alabama, man, I can't say enough about them. We rebuilding, we regathering, we restructuring, and we are empowering each other. It's a blessing to see. Great things to come from this Queen City in Alabama. Yes, great things. In my neck of the woods this week, people, man, I've been having a great week. I can't complain. Like to tell God thank you for all of his blessings and also for continuing to keep his armor of protection around me at all times. I've been having a great week. I hope y'all have. And like I said again, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'd like to thank all of my followers, listeners, downloaders, subscribers, anybody. But on this week, man, I got a couple things to talk to you about. It might be a little bit extra long show, but I hope y'all enjoy it. Continue to like, subscribe, comment. I take good criticism and bad, all the same. Please hit me up at Spreaker.com at the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast, or hit me up on my YouTube channel at Alan Sample 5055. I'm always online. I'm always checking out the comments, the views. So whatever you got to say about the show, the subjects I've been talking about, let me know. I take good and bad criticism all the same. And I thank all of y'all for watching and listening. But I'm gonna start the show. This week on the show in current events, Brett Favre is suing Shannon Sharp and others for defaming his name over the Mississippi misuse of welfare funds. Now, people, I'm gonna just let y'all know, if y'all haven't been paying attention, the football star Brett Favre, multi-million dollar rich man, they have found facts and said that he and his, what's the word I'm looking for, accomplice was getting money from the state of Mississippi. They say he was getting money the wrong way. I'm just going off the sources and things that I've been researching and finding out about it. But at this time and point, he's suing Shannon Sharp because he said Shannon Sharp took shots at him, defaming his name, defaming his credibility, talking about him. But from everything that I done read and found out and what I done watched and researched, they say he did it. They say the state of Mississippi, not the whole state, not the whole governing power, but certain people in the state gave him those funds. I'm just going off of what I read and all the research that I've been doing. Ain't no charges been brought against Brett Favre, but they say, and I ain't even going off of what they say, I'm going off facts. They say these things did happen. The money did get transferred. Buildings did get built. So the shots that he took at Shannon Sharp might be justifiable, but we live in the United States, people. I love it. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, not let you understand and know that I love my country, I love where I stay at, but everything in this country is not equal. And what I've been reading and finding out, these things are very much true about Brett Favre. Yeah. And also, he's saying that, like I said, he took shots at him about the situation that he didn't. He's saying Shannon Sharp did not know all the facts about what was going on with the situation. That he didn't steal no money, that he didn't take no money, that he did nothing wrong to harm no citizens in the city of Mississippi. Now, if you know anything about Mississippi and you know anything about Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, these southern states, we already struggling with funds and wherefore for people who needs it and who are below the poverty level, who are struggling to survive. God bless their soul. I wish the best for all of them. But when you're taking advantage of the board and you're rich, and then there's no charges pressed, that's messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? You should be held accountable just as much of a corner. You should be held accountable just as much as a person that been standing on the corner selling drugs. I look at you as accountable as those people. You oppress them people to the F degree, but you won't press Brett Favre. These are just my thoughts, my opinions. I'm just saying. Something needs to be done about it. Also, in current events this week, Tommy Hawk, Mr. Tony Hawk, plans to help pay for a skateboard ring in honor of Mr. Mr. Tyree Nichols. He was saying that Mr. Tyree was a very prominent skateboarder. He was very passionate about it. He loved to do it, things of that nature. So when he heard about the mishandling of his life to where Mr. Nichols lost his life, and the things that the misconduct of the police in Memphis, and also the people of the EMTs, of the things and the policies and procedures that they broke, Tony Hawk stood up, made his voice noticed. Mr. Hawk goes on and says that Mr. Nichols was a very talented skateboarder among other admirable traits. He also says, let's keep his name and legacy alive with the skateboard park. Basically, he just trying to show love to the family, trying to show love to this young man because he understands the tragic loss of this young man's life. He also understands from the point of view and the perspective of this black African American young man who was striving to be his best. He was just scared and afraid. Like on my last episode, I spoke about this, but I had to say something about this because for a Caucasian United States young man to put up and upfront his money to help out another African American young man to leave his legacy behind and to feel that he was mistreated, he was dealt or the wrong hand, he was dealt with problems that he didn't cause, and because he was scared, and the defaming of his family name, my hat's off to him. And my hat's off to the family, like I said on my last show, that I wish them the best. I pray that his family and everyone has a whole heart of resolve and just pray they're doing well. Because when you lose a child, it's very hard. And I never lost a child. And I do have kids. So I don't never want to see my child getting killed or shot down or beat up in the street because he's scared and he's a prominent young man in the United States of America with all these amendments and rights that we have. Moving on. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Moving on to the next segment of the show on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast with your boy, Big Nard. You already know. Next in health this week, I just want to give y'all a couple of health tips to let you know to continue your eating habits, to eat right, working out, or taking a brisk walk. Some more things that you can do to help yourself to better your health, because health is wealth, is you can also do some breathing techniques to relieve stress. And that'll also give you a peace of mind. You don't feel like running sometime to get that cardio and that blood pumping. Just take you a brisk walk. Find your partner, find your friend, find you someone who's into some of the things that you are into to motivate you to continue your New Year's resolution all through this 2023 year. And also keep in mind to see when you get stagnant, when you don't see results that you've been thinking that you should have seen, you might need to change your eating habits. I know you love your food and things of such that you've been eating, but sometimes you need to change your eating habits to get those results and those looks and the effects that you want. But like I said, in health this week is very short. Continue to eat right. Continue to work out or take brisk walks or run. Plus, you can do some breathing techniques to take your mental stress level down a whole 4 or 5 notches. Just take some deep breaths, some peace of mind, time to yourself, and that'll relieve a lot of stress. And that's it this week from health. Thank you. Next on the show, like I said, man, I got a lot of other topics that I want to talk to you guys about. I hope you have any comments. I hope you have some negative comments, positive comments, anything, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to hear what you feel, how you think about what the things that I've been saying. This week in the life segment, and in the life segment this week, this is something that I'm very passionate about, that is touching to my heart. And it's a word of encouragement, inspiration that I want to talk to you and share for all my followers, listeners, downloaders, and subscribers. Your breakthrough is coming. No matter what you've been facing or the things that you've been going through, or all the adversity that has been in your life or has showed itself upon in your life, or future adversity or problems that you're facing, put God in front and ask Him to guide you and lead you and walk with you and to bless you down your journey. Because your breakthrough is coming. Whenever you're going through a lot of pain and hardship and hell and things are not going your way, we as people tend to put our heads down and get down on ourselves and beat ourselves up because this or that is not going the correct way as we projected it to be or as we wanted it to be. A lot of times things don't go our way. But like I said again, your breakthrough is coming. So if you going through trials and tribulations, struggles, bad breaks at your job, bad breaks in your life, bad breaks in your health, don't get mad at God and ask him why. Go to God and tell him, thank you, Jesus, for taking care of me, to bless me to see another day. Because if you wake up in the morning, you are blessed to fight, to change what the past and what you have went through already. He's blessing with you with another chance to do something greater than what you already have done. And every time you're dealing with strife and pain and hardship in your life, there's always a silver lining. There's always an upside. Like the Bible said, there must be sacrifice and pain and sorrow before happy days, milestones, and greatness. So your breakthrough is coming. Just stand, just stand, just stay fast, steadfast, stand still, live in the moment. Turn to your God or whoever your religion is. Believe in oneself. Stay motivated. Stay grinding. Stay focused. Because it's only going to last for a season, people. To all my listeners and followers out there, please understand all the hell and turmoil and things that you're going through thus far this year in this 2023, it's going to be okay. Your breakthrough is coming. Just continue to fight the good fight. Strive forward. Continue to push. Continue to pray God and ask him for his grace and his mercy. Ask him to lead you and guide you and show you the right way to go. And I promise you, don't take it for my word. Just try it out. You'll see for yourself that your life in the season that you're in will turn around. Because your breakthrough for the 2023 is coming. Blessings among blessings. Financial stability. God's armor and protection. His love. His mercy. His strength. So don't give up on yourself. Don't hold your head down. Hold your head high. No matter what the world gives you, it might ball you up, chew you up, spit you out. Continue to fight the good fight because your breakthrough is coming. Never give up and never stop believing in oneself. Because once you give up and don't believe in yourself, the test that God has gave you, it shows him that you're not ready for the bigger blessing that he has in store for you. Everything that's bad, its alternative is something good. It's just like night and day. There's not one without the other. So if you got bad things and struggles and strife dealing with in your life, it's just a matter of time before your season changes. If you continue to fight the good fight, the righteous fight, and you continue to keep your faith in our Lord, our God. And I can continue to go on and on with this, but people, listeners, followers, understand me. Hear the words of my mouth. God is powerful. His love is strong. His strength is even stronger. His mercy upon our lives is remarkable. And to what 2 Chainz says, if you wake up another day with air in your breath, my boy, my girls, my kings, my queens, you winning. You are winning. So just be patient. Be steadfast. Stand still. Embrace the hell. Embrace the drama. Embrace the turmoil. Embrace that pain. Embrace those numb feelings. Because your breakthrough is coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Next on the good, the bad, and the ugly as we moving on. In hip hop this week, I have a lot of different things I would like to share with you all, cover and go over. But first off, in hip hop, this is a very, 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 very juicy subject. Yeah. The interview with Jay Prince and the Prince family when they was on $1 million worth of game. I know some of y'all have seen it, man. You know, it can go either way on the way how you feel, how you know what I'm saying, how you looked at it from your perspective, or how you feel about the things that Mr. Prince said and his family. I don't understand what they was trying to do. They were trying to be very respectful. They were trying to show love to Quavo and Takeoff's family in the situation what happened in Houston where Takeoff lost his life. But Jay Prince himself took shots at Offset on the $1 Million Game podcast, on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast with, as you know, my boy Wallo and Gillie the Kid. Jay Prince presumed to say and threaten and take shots at Offset, saying that he doesn't want it with him. Basically, he was just saying Offset didn't even have he was saying Offset didn't have Takeoff's back. He wasn't part of the group. He wasn't with him when everything transpired. They wasn't talking and everything of that nature. But to be in defense of Offset and the Amigos, these guys been together in Atlanta and from Savannah, Georgia, way longer than Jay Prince knew them and his family and his son, Jazz Prince. So to say that they're not tight because they're not associating or taking pictures or being seen together, you gotta understand, man, you can be married to your wife. Bone and teeth falls out. When bone and teeth falls out, they might not talk for several days. But they ain't going to bed mad, but they're not being seen together. So you on the outside, what I mean as Mr. Jay Prince and his family, not understanding what Offset, Quavo, and all of the family was dealing with in the murder of Takeoff. But Takeoff come back in, man, and then he responds. The Takeoff responding and saying that to Jay Prince that they don't know, that they didn't know Takeoff and his relationship between them both, like I said. And then he went even further in saying that he don't know Jay Prince from a can of paint. Basically saying like, Quavo cool with you and your son. Takeoff just went with Quavo. He the one cool with Jazz. He didn't even want to go because he don't really know y'all from Houston like that. It's not no knock on him or nothing, but Offset was just speaking facts. And I feel like the things that Mr. Prince said, Jay Prince said, that it is kind of like suspect because you don't know, these people grew up together for years. Quavo, Offset, Takeoff, Mr. Takeoff, God rest his soul. They are family. Especially Quavo and Takeoff. So you can't even start to imagine the relationship that they have with one another. So it's like, how did, how did, how in the world or how in the hell Jay Prince know? That's crazy. And I know Takeoff said a lot of things out of probably out of anger or something, but I think his intentions were good. That's just my opinion. But also he went on and saying that Jay Prince don't know them from a can of paint. Plus also Offset said that nobody never thought about the young man's mother, Takeoff's mother, and what she been going through by continuing to see and hear them talking about her son in interviews, on the media, on news, on TMZ, on songs, and all of that. And he got a point. If I had buried my son, God bless my soul, if I had one, and every time I go on the internet or on the web, I look up and I see y'all talking about my son, y'all having conversations about my son, y'all saying this and that about my son, y'all saying this, some of his closest friends didn't know him, you wasn't there from here, saying his best, some of his bodyguards, securities shouldn't have done what they did. You'll kind of make his mama heart continue to relive that tragedy over and over and over and over again. And I understand what Jay Prince is trying to do. He's trying to save his company. He's trying to save his company. He's trying to save his family name. He's trying to not to be entitled, enlisted, connected to the murder of Takeoff, and trying to express that it wasn't none of his people, company, or portrayal's fault. If y'all watch the episode of $1,000,000 a Game, even his son, Jay Prince's son, started shedding tears saying certain things should have never happened. And they blaming Mr. Quavo, security guard, or his associate who drew the gun, who decided to hit the young man in the head with the gun. But it's like, in this world, y'all should have just, if he hit you with a gun, none of y'all think about, don't none of them think about fighting. None of them thinking about head up, one-on-one. They all think about just to kill somebody. And that's the crazy mindset of black on black crime in America. And we want our lives to matter. And we want black lives to matter. And we want the other side of America to support us, Caucasians and the other minorities. But we out here killing one another over stupid arguments, over stupid things that we have done. Because we envious and jealous. And like I said again, Takeoff is right. Excuse me. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Offset is right. Have any of y'all thought about his mama? Why y'all keep talking about her son on interviews, trying to clear y'all name, to keep y'all self from going to jail, pulling out police reports and all of that? You already in it. Let the investigation be the investigation. What was done, what was not done, will be found out. If the police get it wrong, I guarantee you, another elevated level would take it up. Y'all are millionaires. They're going to make sure they get this right. And then Offset continues to go on and said that they weren't thinking about Mr. Takeoff mother and his family. And he went on and said that the Migos, after Jay Prince and his family said all of this, they said they haven't said nothing yet. Cause from all my research and all the things I've been looking at, Quavo hasn't came out yet and said nothing. He made some songs, but he hasn't came out and uttered two words about the situation. That speak monuments. It should let you know how much love and valuable Takeoff life was to him, his family, and his friends. Because they haven't spoken about the situation at hand. But y'all want to get on TV and speak about it. And I can see their frustration. I can see Offset frustration when you taking shots at him and threatening him saying you don't want to, because Jay Prince said it from the interview that I watched. You don't want to start it with me because I'm going to protect myself to the fullest. When the whole time Offset was just stating the facts and saying what he was saying. And they were trying to disbar or disclaim Offset as like he insignificant to the group of the Amigos. But this is a very, very touching subject between them that has been transpiring for the last couple of weeks. And what I'm speaking about is just my opinion. And I'm on the side of Offset because I feel like if one of my friends, one of my partners, one of my companions in my group of the Amigos get killed in a different place with these people, how you gonna tell me how I feel? How you gonna tell me how our relationship was? I was in the group with him. I grew up with him. But that's just my thoughts on it. If y'all have any objections, any comments, anything that you feel that I might have offended you, please feel free. Hit me at Spreaker.com at The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. Your boy, Big Nard, a.k.a. Alan Sample, the host of the podcast of The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. Or hit me on my YouTube channel. Just let me know what you think at Alan Sample 5055. Also in hip hop this week, after the interview with Jay Prince and his family on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, Gilly the Kid and Wallow are facing some backlash. Yeah. Facing a lot of backlash over the Jay Prince interview, saying that all the positive talks that Wallow be talking about, all the positive things that Wallow be saying, all the stuff they're trying to get at the kid, we're trying to support the youth and all of that it's in vain because they feel some of the Twitter followers, comments, some of the Instagram followers, some of the people on Facebook feel like that Wallow and Gilly didn't do Takeoff and his family do justice by defending them and letting Jay Prince say all type of outrageous and outlandish things, saying they didn't stand up for the young man. And me personally, I'm just reporting on it because from my research and for the things that I found, but it's a very sticky and touchy subject when you're an interviewer and viewing somebody that's involved in a murder and in the loss of someone's life. So I can't really say too much on it. I can just tell you, if I'm interviewing someone, it would be very touchy and sticky to say the wrong thing to these people because you're not trying to incriminate them because you don't know the investigation. You don't know all the facts. You're just going off word of mouth and what your researchers and your investigation team has told you. So I can understand that part. And everybody has their opinion as far as the Twitter followers and things of that nature. But as far as the $1 Million Game podcast host, Gilly the Kid and Wallow, they hasn't even responded. They ain't paid no attention. And that's the best way to handle it. You got people trying to tear you down because of the interview that you decided to do and because of some people that wanted to come in your store and narrate their own story besides the police reports and things of that nature. You got to do it. And they want to do it on your show? That's breaking news in our line of business. So, it's like I said again, it's a touchy subject. I'm just reporting on myself. This is my thoughts, my opinions. And like I told y'all from the jump in this segment of hip hop, I got a lot of hip hop news this week. So we're gonna boogie, baby. We're gonna boogie. We got a lot more to go. Next in hip hop, Life Jennings said he got robbed in Oakland. I don't know if y'all know about this, but Life Jennings was going to Oakland. He was going to do, a tour, do some shows. Said he shouldn't have been in some places that he was at that he shouldn't have been. Said he went some old places that he shouldn't have been, and ran into some young people that they didn't care who he was. He said it could have ended bad, but they took over $120,000 of jewelry, took his laptop, took his phone, and all of that. But he escaped with his life. And he said that he don't feel bad about it because he should have never been there. And that's a message and a sign to all of us who's traveling in this upcoming summer and this spring on spring break and summer break and going on our summer vacations. Be very aware. Watch your surroundings. You might not think nobody think you have money, but if you're where they are at and they know this is a tourist location and a lot of people come to visit, they know you got money and you spend it. But like he said, he take it as a learning lesson because from the jump, he said he should have never been there. He just thank God that he's still alive to tell the story. Next in hip hop, Fat Joe believes that the Grammy deliberately jerks off multiple artists each year. Now, I don't know if y'all watch the Grammys. I don't know how many of my followers and listeners seen it. But what I've been paying attention to and watching the Grammys and noticing that every year, some of the people that we think should win certain awards never come close to getting the award. It always be people that you never expect, people that you hardly ever heard of. And I feel Fat Joe's frustration and his pain that sometimes it's kind of biased. That's why I began to watch it this year, but I just end up just like, nah, man, nah, I can't continue to watch this. It's like a clown show. Because if you see some of the categories and some of the artists in these categories who they're going against, there's no way this artist should beat that artist out, to not name names. And it's baffling to see that every year the same thing. You jerking off more minorities in hip hop, African American minorities, other race of minorities that are better than the ones who have won. Not to take nothing from the ones who did win, because they put in a lot of work too. But every year is the same thing. The same thing. But I'm gonna move on from that. Next in hip hop, the Billboard and the Billboard's top charts and the Vibe charts named Jay Z as the best rapper of all time. And also they named Nicki Minaj as the best female the best female rapper of all times. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this gonna be a very, 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 very touchy subject. It's gonna piss off a lot of rappers. This is gonna end up pissing off a lot of bloggers, a lot of people who love hip hop, listen to hip hop, watch hip hop. Because you got a lot of great MCs who has came through and really don't feel that Jay Z is the best rapper of all time. I've been listening to Jay Z for a long time. I love his work, love his catalog, love the things that he's been putting out. So I agree, but I agree to an extent. I don't fully agree that he's the best that ever was, but I do say he's the best. He's one of the best. I ain't gonna say he's the best of all time because I know the Billboard and Vibe magazine are going off numbers, sales, and all of those things. So I can't, I can't tell you their you know what I'm saying? I can't understand their frustration or their ideologies from their point of view, their perspective. Because I still feel like Jay Z is not like the number one best. He's one of the best. But on the second hand, in the women's category, I feel like Nicki Minaj, she is the best female rapper of all time. Because she can go in with men and rip stuff up. She can go in with men and embarrass them on their own tracks. If you just follow Nicki Minaj with a career, she can go in on a lot of MCs and rappers' tracks and own them. Because she's very lyrical. Her cadence is very on point. She's riding the beat. She's not missing you know what I'm saying? She's not missing a beat. She's hitting it every count, in every number. She's on it with a word, describing her point, and it's rhyming, and it's going together, and it's telegraphing her story. She's one of the best. I agree with that. She is the best and the prettiest. That's just my thoughts. Also, more in hip hop. We got some bad news this week. Drake has received a court order in the Takashi murder trial. Triple X Takashi murder trial. And they say they sent the deposition once before to Drake, and somehow, I guess he didn't get it. His manager didn't get it or whatever. But they are saying that Takashi murder trial lawyer and the attorneys, the defense attorneys, and well, not the defense, excuse me, the prosecutor attorneys has been trying to reach out to Drake several times, and they're already saying he missed one deposition and also missed one appointment to come to court to testify in the case of the murder trial of Tekashi, Triple X Tekashi. So now it has been ordered and put, I guess, a warrant out and calling for Drake to either to appear to the deposition or to appear in the court. And they're thinking that because of the beef between him and Tekashi, that Drake had something to do with it. Unbelievable, yes. I don't know. I know they had a beef over. They saying, Drake was saying he used some of his lyrics, or Tekashi, what I'm saying, Triple X was saying Drake stole some of his lyrics, his sound, his melody, his cadence, the way he projected this certain song. But they were saying they were bringing Drake in because of the same particular argument that they had a long time before this young man transpired. It'll be very interesting, people, to see what's going to happen in this case. I'm looking forward to learning more, research it, investigate, and find out more. And I promise you, I will be reporting more, bringing it to you live on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast. Like I said now, in the beginning, I told y'all I got a lot of hip hop this week because there's so much is going on this week. It's crazy. In other current events this week, to go back, in other current events this week, as y'all know, those Astro Boy boots about to drop. Now, I supposed to have hit this subject in the current events, but somehow it slipped my mind, so I had to, backslide, as the old folks say, and bring it to you. If anyone has seen these Astro boots, and they say they already are expected to sell out, those big red ugly boots, and this is my opinion. Y'all, some people might love those boots. Man, those boots are like cartoon clown boots. I wouldn't wear them to a kicking, because I'm going to be the first one to get my A kicked. They look like some clown shoes, those Astro Boy boots. I got my opinion. That's my rate. Them shoes or boots or whatever you call them, look like some Mario straight off the game type shoes. If y'all calling this fashion, man, please get yourselves together. Excuse my French, this shit look ridiculous. You can say, I don't care what fine model, what girl, what entity, what think this shit is hot. Man, please. That shit look like some clown boots. And the whole time, them Astro boots coming out, because you all know Kanye is nowhere around putting out new stuff, new things. And the whole time, they was talking about and bashing Kanye for the boots that he came out with. When these boots are 10 times bigger and red above all colors. I ain't got no problem with red, but golly, they look like some Mario boots. This shit look crazy. It's not for me, but it's just my opinion. I'm gonna calm down. I'm calm down. Yes, yes, I'm gonna calm down. They are horrendous. But y'all gonna try to knock my boy Ye. Yeah, he might be bipolar, but Ye, he already had that idea. He had a great idea. But as soon as y'all kicked him to the curb and felt like he was crazy and dissing the wrong set of people, y'all felt like, oh, Dre don't, oh, Ye didn't know what he was talking about. But you sure copying his idea. Because those boots are bigger than the boots that Ye had made up. And that's just my thoughts for it. And that is it this week in hip hop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold your applause to the end. Hold your applause to the end. Thank you, people. Thank you. Salute, salute, salute. Next on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast in sports this week, as y'all all know, the Super Bowl this week is going to be a very exciting time. We got two of the most prominent teams that made it, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. This Sunday is going down. How they say it's going down the DM, it's going down. Also in sports this week, the Hall of Fame has pronounced their inductees who made the Hall of Fame. And they are Rondé Barber, Darrell Reeves, Joe Thomas, the middle linebacker, the great for Miami Dolphins, Zach Thomas, that boy cold, DeMarcus Ware, Mr. Chuck Howley, Mr. Joe Klerko, Mr. Ken Riley, and last but not least, Mr. Don, Mr. Don Coryell. Hats off to all these gentlemen, all these Hall of Fame inductees, especially to the ones that I know, that I love to watch back in my time in my day. Rondé Barber, Darrell Reeves, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware. Hats off to y'all fellas for making the Hall of Fame, man. And on another part of the show, LeBron James. LeBron James is now the all-time scoring leader, knocking out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Y'all seen the game? Hey, the boy bad. The boy made that point, made that shot fall away, and the critics doing everything in their power to defame him, to take the excitement away from LeBron, trying to find something to pick on and talk about, saying AD didn't look like he was excited. Why AD didn't celebrate? Hey, he could have been tired. Hats off to my boy LeBron, man. Who else you know gonna do what he just did? That boy great, man. That's all I gotta say on it, man. Cause you gotta understand to break. You know how long Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scoring championship been there? Years. And LeBron James, he broke that thing. Y'all been stop trying to tear this young African American down, man. This guy is gonna be known as the GOAT. I love me some Michael Jordan, but hey, he coming up falling second to LeBron James. In my book, that's my thoughts. LeBron James is the best basketball player ever lived. If y'all, any of my followers, listeners, subscribers, have a comment about that, please hit me at Spreaker.com, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast, with your host, Alan Sample. Or hit me on my YouTube channel at Alan 5055. Let me know how you feel. But LeBron James the best. Let me know who your best is. Yeah. Next, and final, but not least, one of the most passionate segments of my show. A little food for thought I like to leave every week with my listeners, subscribers, and followers and downloaders. The Bible verse of the week. The Bible verse of the week is coming from Matthew chapter 5, verse 44. I'm going to say it again. The Bible verse of the week is coming from Matthew chapter 5, verse 44, and it reads, "But I say, love your enemies. Pray for those who prosecute you." And I'm going to read it again. Matthew 5 and 44. "But I say, love your enemies and pray for those who prosecute you." And my interpretation and understanding of the verse is, for the people that hate you, who don't want to see you good, who do everything in their power to tear you down, to bring judgment upon your life, to persecute you, to defame your name, to say they're your judge. Love those people. Be nice to them, because they know not what they do. They're mere humans. They're mere human beings playing God. There's only one God in this world. We should have consequences to the things that we do, but it's sometimes, in a lot of cases, people try to be, because they have power, judge, jury, and executioner all in one instance. Who died and made you God? Who died and made you Jesus? I don't want to seem mad or seem outraged about this verse, but the verse is it speaks clearly, it's very transparent. Love your enemies. If your enemies is of thirst, quench his thirst. If your enemy need clothing, give your enemy clothing. If your enemy is hungry, feed them. If your enemy need shelter, help him to provide that. And for those who prosecute you, love them as well. For God, he's your only judge. He's your only one that can prosecute you. But don't forget, we all live in a world with rules and regulations and consequences of the things that we do. But in sometimes, and in some rates, sometimes these people who are in power go above and beyond their job to set up, to tear down, and to sit and to embellish and narrate their story of a person's life. And if you haven't ever noticed, when a person goes to trial, before that person goes to trial, the persecutor do everything in his power to put out different media outlets and takes and background things that from way 15 and 20, 30 years about a person to tear them down and tear their credibility down, to try to brainwash the jury and let those people know who this person is. Because 10 out of 10 people in that jury do not know who that young man is. They just got called to jury selection. And 10 out of 10, your enemy would never expect for you to love him. And like this verse said in Matthew chapter 5, verse 44, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, because they know not what they do. And the ones who do know what they do, they are wolves. They are wolves leading the sheep. It's like this thing I read about back in Washington. They had this certain collective. A group of people, of gentlemen, who did just that. There were wolves and there were sheep. And they played it as such with your life. So pray for these people. Love on these people. That was this verse is saying. Please read this verse for yourself and ask God for understanding and interpret it. But this is just my interpretation, like I always say on my show, of this verse and my understanding. Love your enemies and pray for those who prosecute you. And I'd like to thank all of my followers, listeners, subscribers, downloaders for listening in to another show of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'd like to thank all of y'all for following, subscribing, tuning in. Please hit me up in my YouTube channel at Alan Sample 5055. Please hit any one of my links. Please hit me at Spreaker.com, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast. If you are listening to this show, you can hit the website on this show. Leave a comment, leave a statement, whatever, donation, or whatever you like to do. I thank all of my followers, subscribers, and listeners and downloaders. This has been the show that I call The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast with your host, Alan Sample. And there's some big old facts, and we out.